All right, man. Peace. This is gonna be my quick rant on the new LeBron James movie, Space Jam, and I just want you guys to hear what Shannon Sharp, who is LeBron James' number one fan, uh, what they got to say about Space Jam, and I'm just gonna chime in about it because the thing about Space Jam is, uh, I I think it was it wasn't a necessary movie to make, very unnecessary because one, you don't take somebody who has absolutely no uh, record being an actor, who has absolutely no talent in acting, and put him in a huge blockbuster movie. It doesn't make sense, you know. But I'm not gonna lie, LeBron James is a talented actor on the court when it comes to flopping and all that. But to put him in a movie that was already great is just bad, you know. But then again, Shannon Sharp is always gonna find something, just something to say about it that is positive. But then again, like this movie was already destined for failure from the beginning. One, uh, before it even came out, or before it was gonna come out, they have little hints and little just something to let you guys know, like, oh, this movie is coming out and shit. But the thing about it is too, it was already destined to fail. It wasn't being marketed right. They were trying to pretend like, oh, this is something that's great that's going to be coming out by just trying to hide it and keep it secret. Nobody really cares about it. You know, but like I said, this movie is literally like a copy of. If you guys ever seen the movie Ready Player One, this is literally a copy of Ready Player One. If you actually get the chance to see the movie, but and the thing about it is, I'm gonna show you guys a trailer before I really get into the video. A trailer of Ready Player One, and who have seen the movie will understand. Like, wait, this is literally the same movie. LeBron James cannot act for shit. They wasted money on making this movie. Seriously, it was unnecessary. Like I say, if they're gonna start LeBron James in a huge blockbuster movie, it should possibly be like, just he got to work his way up. Don't just shove him into the movie industry as this being like his first movie. You know, most actors that start in the industry, like, they start off little before they become a great actor. They start actor or actress. They start off from humble beginnings, but being LeBron James' cocky ass and arrogant ass, he doesn't want to start from something small. He want to jump right into it, and this is the reason why this movie will fail, and it is failing. Like I said, this is literally a copy of Ready Player One because they know LeBron James cannot act, so they focus way more on the surrounding of LeBron James than LeBron James. But at the end of the day, the movie has nothing to do with LeBron James trying to rescue um, his child. I would probably touch on this down the line what it's really about, but it's really all about LeBron James and how that transpired to his real life on and off the basketball court. How in retrospect, LeBron James always, it's all about him on the court. It's all about him. In reality, it's all about him. All his character, everybody around him on his team are just an animated character. When you see that in real basketball too, it's all about him. Everybody else around him is just an animated character. Literally, and that's why I feel like the movie is trying to expose, but I don't really think they quite understood that. You know. But like I said, I will touch on this down the line. But anyways, before we get into Shannon Sharp and Undisputed Review, their opinion about this movie, let me just play a trailer for y'all called Ready Player One. And those who have seen the movie and those who wish to see it, you will realize exactly how they are the same. You know, that's why it's kind of trickled down to being a kid movie. When you watch the first Space Jam movie, you know, it was more like adultish content. You know, it had some sexual tone to it. It was flirtatious. It was, when you look at it, it's like damn, it can't be just for kids. But like I said, this movie, they know LeBron James is gonna be terrible, and they want to have like a what you call, like an excuse. So if it is horrible, they realize for kids, it's not meant for adults. But in reality, it was adults who made Space Jam popular in the first place. You know, so yeah, let's watch Ready Player One trailer, and like I said, those who have seen the movie, Space Jam, and those who have seen Ready Player One, you get an understanding as it's literally just a copy and paste of the movie. All right, so let's get into it.
My name's Wade Watts. My dad picked that name because it sounded like a superhero's alter ego, like Peter Parker or Bruce Banner. But he died when I was a kid, my mom too. And I ended up here, sitting here in my tiny corner of
Columbus, Ohio. Who's from Ohio? LeBron James is literally this kid. You know, he is playing this kid. Ready Player One and Space Jam 2 New Legacy is literally the same movie. But then again, like I'm telling you, there's many levels to this movie that I'll explain. I'll explain. I got somebody try to call me, and I'm sorry, but yeah, let me just reply to it really quick. Like I said, think about it.
But he died when I was a kid, my mom too.
Okay. Who mom and dad does not exist? You rarely see LeBron James' mom. You rarely see his dad, you know? I'm telling you, LeBron James is literally this kid. You know, he's playing this kid. So they just rehash and resign in this movie. You got to pay attention. A lot of these movies are basically the same, if you can understand it. There's many levels to this movie. There's the audience, you know, just for people who just want to take things as face value and enjoy it, you know. And other side is for a certain group of people to understand. And then there's a spiritual side of it, which I'll probably talk about this down the line. But yeah, this is basically the same movie. And tell me if I'm wrong, all right? Because I know I'm not wrong.
And I ended up here.
Who's from Columbus, Ohio? Well, technically Cleveland, Ohio. LeBron James.
Sitting here in my tiny corner of nowhere. There's nowhere left to go. Nowhere. Except the oasis. A whole virtual universe. People come to the oasis for all the things they can do. But they stay because of all the things they can be.
Can you feel this?
Yeah. It's the only place that feels like I mean anything.
Notice how LeBron James was falling down that hole in the movie. This is basically the same thing. You know how he was, when he actually get the chance to enter, he was like, man, this is like the Matrix. It's the same movie, I swear. Notice how he was falling down that hole and he turned into an animated character. He turned into an animated character once he enters the Oasis. Which, this is basically a copy of the Matrix too, if you quite understand it, you know?
The Oasis was the brainchild of James Halliday.
Hello. If you're watching this, I'm dead. I created a hidden object, an Easter egg. The first person to find the egg will inherit $500 billion and total control of the Oasis itself.
Who is this Parzival, and how the hell is he winning?
Find him. This isn't just a game. I'm talking about actual life and death stuff.
The Oasis,
the world's most important economic resource.
and this is nothing less than a war for control of the future.
Welcome to the rebellion, Wade.
Notice when you watch this movie, there was a whole bunch of random characters from like literally all walks of life that you have seen throughout your lives. You know, play games. You know, all that. All these animated characters. When you watch Space Jam, guess what? You see the same shit. It's the same. They realize LeBron James is a talent. It's a hack. You know, he can't really act, so they take him and just put him in this movie as his kid. That's all it is. You can see a whole bunch of these characters in Space Jam. That's why they try to hide. They never show you these characters at all in the trailer until you go into the movies, because they realize, like, hey, people are probably going to catch on to it before they even get to the movie. You know? They're going to be like, this is basically the same movie. So they don't show it.
Like many of you, I only came here to escape. But I found something much bigger than just myself. Are you willing to fight? Help us save the Oasis.
Okay. Since you guys are saying that, now, when you... I know if you guys seen this video, you're going to be like, damn, yep, I'm definitely right. But anyways, let's get into Shannon Sharp and, you know, their BS and Space Jam and all this nonsense. Anyways, hold on for a second.
All right, guys, LeBron's new Space Jam movie comes out today, and while many people are excited to see his
if you pay attention, when you watch the movie and you pay attention to these crowds and all that stuff, you see it basically the same animated character that you have grew up watching your whole entire lives are in Ready Player One. This is basically like the same movie.
take on Michael Jordan's 90s classic. Some of the reviews have been not so good. Richard Roper of the Chicago Sun-Times wrote, "I've never seen anything like it. I also hope to never see anything like it again. And I wish I could unsee what I have seen." He did not hold back with that. Shannon.
Skip can't wait. Yo, Skip can't wait, yo. Hey, I know it's a little bit dark right now. I haven't turned my light on, so I'm trying to make this into a quick video. But yeah, Skip is loving this. If you've seen Skip's face, he is absolutely loving this. Skip is absolutely loving this. Yeah. Anyways. Damn.
Do you feel that Space Jam, A New Legacy, will be a stain on LeBron's legacy here?
No. I think the thing is, a lot of times social media has made everyone a movie critic, an analyst.
I mean, Shannon Sharp, we're in a whole nother era where you can just literally post a video on YouTube and you can destroy a whole entire... You can literally destroy a whole entire movie company. Yes, Shannon Sharp, YouTube and modern day technology has allowed everybody to have a voice instead of listening to Rotten Tomatoes tell us what to believe and what to think. You know what I'm saying? So you guys don't have the power to dictate what people should actually be tuned into or what they should like. If they feel a certain way about certain things, everybody has a voice now to actually voice that opinion. So yes, at the end of the day, Majority of movie companies are not really listening to you guys to tell us how we should feel about certain things now. They cater towards certain individual content creator to be the voice and the promotion for a lot of these movies. So yes, Shannon Sharp, everybody is a movie critic. All right, y'all can't sit there and tell us on TV like this is the #1 movie in the world. No, we can just look at the trailer and give our whole entire opinion how terrible it's gonna be, and then just, you know, wait for it to come on a streaming platform where we can just watch it for free. You know, so at the end of the day, Shannon Sharp, yes, everybody is a movie critic. I'm not saying there are some trolls online that probably just hate because they want to hate. You know, that's the whole thing about modern day technology. It gives everybody the chance to either be negative or positive if they choose to. But yeah, let's. Anyways.
A political pundit. Jenny, it's funny that you said that about what this critic said.
Okay.
Because let me tell you what the critic said in 1996 when Space Jam was released. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 44%. One of the movie critics said Jordan proves to be as good an actor as he was a baseball player.
Okay, you gotta understand, if Rotten Tomatoes give it a 44%, during that time of Rotten Tomato, people never really had a voice. Internet wasn't really out. People just take things as at face value. So it gives a producer, director, movie companies, production companies, to basically tell a bunch of lies, you know. So majority of our choices to watch his movies came from Rotten Tomatoes. Now we don't really need Rotten Tomatoes, you know. If Rotten Tomatoes give a shitty review, there's always going to be somebody out there who can just voice their opinion on YouTube and change the narrative, you know. But then again, when it came out, nobody's actually bashing the first movie like that. Nobody's saying Space Jam sucks. Nobody's saying that shit now because they realize Space Jam 2 is worse than Space Jam 1. You know? So, and at that time, in that era, Jordan's reputation was not that bad to begin with. It was not all that good, but it wasn't that bad compared to LeBron James because there was far more tougher basketball going on back then than there is now. So, well, LeBron James, he doesn't have a good reputation on people, you know? And Jordan, you know, it was different.
This isn't Looney Tunes, it's sloppy tunes. In basketball terms, Space Jam is more akin to garbage time that concludes lopsided games when reckless playing is no substitute for the real thing.
I don't understand why Shannon Sharp goes so hard for LeBron James. You know, every time it comes to LeBron James looking bad in the media or he's at fault at something, Shannon Sharp is always has something to say to defend him. And he always, without a doubt, every time LeBron James goes into scrutiny, Shannon Sharp always has a way to kind of bring Jordan into it and put Jordan on the scrutiny that, hey, Jordan went through this. If LeBron go through this, he deserved just as much as a pass as Jordan did. You know? I don't know why they keep comparing LeBron James to Michael Jordan. They live in two different eras of basketball. Nowadays, it's just a bunch of bullshit defending. You can't really check people. You can't, you can't even like trap them like the way you used to trap them back in the days. Every single thing you do is a foul, you know.
Now they re-released it again 20 years later in 2016. It got 85%. You see how to test the time? Okay. It got better. The same movie that was crushed upon its original releasing got better through time. Wow.
If the movie got better through time, Jordan at that time was getting better through time. LeBron James has getting worse through time. LeBron James, Jordan got better through time. You know, business wise, you know. LeBron James got worse over time. You know, now he's a complainer. He destroying people career. Every single team he goes to, he trades the whole entire team. You know, it's all about LeBron James. You know, Jordan had his flaws, but Jordan wasn't just dictates who should be on the Chicago Bulls. You know, he wasn't left and right just trading people. You know, every single team LeBron James goes to is literally becomes a whole new legacy. Shannon Sharp. And that's what makes the team terrible, just like the movie. You know, every single team LeBron James go to becomes a whole new legacy. You know, so you got to understand, Shannon. Even though the movie came out with Michael Jordan as being labeled as terrible, that's Rotten Tomatoes. You got to understand, people didn't really have that much internet access and technology to voice their opinion. So if Rotten Tomatoes, when they talk about critics, it's normally like 5-6 people, literally 5-6 people who watch the movie, and then you telling me those 5-6 people has the voice of everybody. Nowadays, you can't release a movie and critic tell you it's a bad movie. Nobody cares what critic thinks. You know? Because most critics in America who's a professional critics are paid. They're paid. Now with YouTube and streaming platform, you can't really pay people. I mean, you can, but you can't really pay small content creator to. Normally, when these movies come out, people already got their opinion before industry can actually get to them. You know? So now people have a voice to speak about whatever it is they want to speak about. And they don't need them. They don't need critics literally, you know, deciding for them. So that's the reason why in the second release of Space Jam, it had better reviews, Shannon Sharp. You got to think about the eras and if technology was available. Space Jam 2 got better reviews around the second time. Space Jam 1 got better reviews because there was technology out for people to actually voice their real opinion without critic telling them what to think and what to believe.
Who knew? Yeah, Skip, I'm just telling you.
It got more crushed this time. It's worse this time.
No. What I'm telling you is that the original Space Jams was crushed. Just like what you're trying to do, you're trying to make it seem like Space Jam, the original Space Jam, got 90% from Rotten Tomatoes. It got these. No, it did not. No, it did not. It got crushed. And if this movie.
Don't ever take movie critics serious ever. Don't ever listen to Rotten Tomatoes. Watch something for yourself. You can't. That's basically them telling you what to think and what to believe. You know, there are certain things in life like critics have ruined for me, and then when I seen it, I'm like, damn, this is actually genuinely good to me. You know, like for example, Superman, Man of Steel. Critics shitted on that movie, you know, but generally I enjoy the movie. You know, I genuinely enjoy the movie. So when it comes to movies, when it comes to some of these artistic development works, you can't really. Art is supposed to be your interpretation of it, not somebody's interpretation of it. You know, so everybody don't see things the same. You know, everybody has an opinion. You know, to see things differently. You know, that's how people grow as an individual, and you know, some you don't see, somebody sees it. Somebody else sees, don't see, you see it. You know, Now, not everybody needs to like the same thing.
Crushed. It got 44%.
Skip, do you realize 50% is good? That's good. That's mediocre. So it's below that. So what is that? You
Okay.
see what the movie?
But think about this. LeBron is so beloved by the media in general. I think everybody, all these critics, these aren't Twitter critics, these are respected big national critics. I
Was he
think
more
they all
beloved than
went into this
Michael?
hoping that LeBron had pulled it off.
Was he
And
more beloved than Michael?
I think
No.
he is. He's more protected.
Yes, that is very true. LeBron James is arguably one of the most spoiled and protected NBA player in the history. That's why nothing can be said about LeBron James, you know? Because if you say anything about LeBron James that is pertaining to the truth, you could probably get blacklisted, you know? That's why when you look at ESPN, a lot of people in ESPN are all LeBron James, on LeBron James' payroll, or he's somehow affiliated with them, you know? Some people may call Skip a hater, but sometimes if you listen to him, he does speak some truth, you know? So, yes, LeBron James is arguably one of the most spoiled NBA players in the history. And honestly, physically wise, he's talented, you know, but I don't, to me, he's a bum. If you're a LeBron James fan, I'm sorry, but I prefer a team player than somebody who's considered himself to be one of the best players on the planet, but yet their history proves otherwise, you know? But yes, Skip is right. LeBron James is one of the most protected NBA player known to man. And he ruins everybody else's career. That's why a lot of people don't like him. That's the thing. Don't get it confused. A lot of people in the NBA do not like LeBron James. That's why a lot of people don't even want to play with him. Seriously, nobody really want to play with him at all.
No,
Then Michael.
Stop it. You know that's not to be true. We're not gonna get on that on TV, but you know that not to be true.
Okay, all right. But here's the critics' consensus right now on Rotten Tomatoes, where they sum up what everybody is saying. They say, despite LeBron James' best efforts to make a winning team out of the Toon Squad, Space Jam: A New Legacy trades the zany meta humor of its predecessor for a shameless, tired exercise in IP-driven branding. Ugh. Shannon, I've been trying to warn you for a month. This was just a bad idea for LeBron because he's trying to be Jordan or beat Jordan, and you just can't.
I told you. Literally, I even said it from the beginning. It was a bad movie for LeBron James from the beginning. He has no talent acting. He has absolutely, like, there was no cameo of him appearing in movies, no practice acting or none of that. You take, he all, like I heard, when he got to the Lakers, he took Kobe Bryant's spot, parking spot, and took his locker room. LeBron James is constantly always trying to be like other people, other great basketball player. He's not a standalone basketball player who can just build his own legacy. He can never build his own legacy. He has to capitalize off somebody else's legacy. Hence the movie, A New Legacy, capitalizing off Jordan's legacy. The movie was a bad idea from the beginning. I knew it. A lot of people knew it. They should not just put LeBron. Even Kevin Durant, Thunderstruck, was far better. Was far better than Space Jam. A lot of basketball players are really good, had their own brand in a movie that was unique within their own style. Kevin Durant never really had, anything to do with acting. Think about it. Never had anything to do with acting. But he was pretty decent in that movie, Thunderstruck. I honestly enjoyed the movie. Kyrie movie, Uncle Drew, his own spin, add his own touch on it. It was unique. Shaq had his own movie, unique. All these basketball players that had their own movies, it was very unique to their own goofy style. You know, all he's doing is trying to be Jordan. He's chasing Jordan legacy by trying to erase it. LeBron James has no other talent besides being a self-centered basketball player. That's his only talent, a self-centered basketball player. I'm not hating on him, but I'm just telling y'all the truth. You know? And that's a fact. He could have came up with his own spin, his own uniqueness. You know? Probably like a movie, something else, you know? And then work his way into Space Jam, seeing how he performed. But he literally just destroyed. That's all LeBron does. Everything he do and touch, or everywhere he goes, he just destroys it. And he doesn't even seem to understand, like, he doesn't even use his brain. I personally think LeBron James is an idiot because everybody around him are the one who speaks for him. He doesn't really have the guts nor the balls to speak for himself. You know? He destroys any team he goes to, he destroys it. You know? A classic film that is loved by many people, destroy it. And he just doesn't seem to get it.
Skip, he took it in a totally different direction.
Oh, he destroyed a lot of basketball player career. You know?
Original. That's what it was.
And guess what? The original was originally bad because that's what the movie critics said.
It was only as bad, Shannon Sharp, because people never really had a voice back then. You took it from Rotten Tomatoes. It's not from the real critics or the people. Not 4, 5, or 10 people sitting in a room, play the movie, and then give their own opinion. Because that's how they did critics back in the days. They have a 10 group of people just sitting in the room, and then they play the movies for them, and then, hey, we just gonna... It's like America saying they're the greatest folk champion in the world. You know how they always say, like, every single NBA playoff, NBA championship, or Super Bowl, they always say we're the champion in the world. You're not playing nobody else but American team. You're not playing the world, but you guys carry this arrogant title that you're the greatest in the world. And that's why Nigeria and all of these other countries are whooping their ass right now before the Olympics. Because they have gone with this narrative for years and years talking about they're the greatest in the world when they haven't proven it. Like I said, United States of America is a very selfish land. It's a very selfish country. Everybody thinks of themselves. You know? When you watch the playoffs with them, with Golden State Warriors, notice how Golden State Warriors move very swiftly and smoothly because they're playing as a team. LeBron James cannot grasp that concept. You know? It's a whole bunch of individual ball to where it's like, hey, we just gotta, let's make this work. You know? Let's just make this work. Because I've seen a whole bunch of other basketball teams, you know, practice and, you know, playing like a team together. I've never yet to see LeBron James and his teammate actually practicing. I heard LeBron James barely even practice with his teammates. You know? So...
This isn't Looney Tunes, it's Sloppy Tunes. Jordan proves to be as good an actor as he was a baseball player. In basketball terms, Space Jam is akin to garbage time. That's what they said in '96. Now they re-released it at the 20-year anniversary in 2016, and they got an 85. How the hell does a movie at 44% Rotten Tomatoes get 85% Rotten Tomatoes 20 years later?
Like I said, I answered this question. I'm going to answer it again. Because back in the days, critics were just a bunch of small individual, like 10 people, sit in a room, watch the movie, and they gave their opinion about the movie. Now everybody can watch and see for themselves, and then literally come on YouTube and post their opinion of the movie, and everybody has a voice. You know, now people cannot be told what to believe in. You know what it is that because they always talk about number one movie in the world. Now another person is I see so many flaws. People can actually point out these flaws in these movies, and some of these content creators on YouTube are far more intelligent than your critics. Critics are just paid. They're paid for these to do this thing. You know, they're paid. So yes, Shannon Sharp. After they re-release the movie, YouTube is out. All these platforms are out. People can give their actual opinion. They have a voice now. Back then, nobody didn't have a voice because technology wasn't quite advanced yet. And that's what Shannon Sharp does not seem to understand. Because when you think about it, before all these media platform was created, like, you know, YouTube and Facebook, you had all these ESPN. They telling us what to believe. Who, like, LeBron James is the greatest basketball player. Blah blah blah. People can come on. I'm saying he's a flopper. He's a this and this and that. You can't tell people what to believe anymore. You can't, because a lot of people are starting to see through these media outlet, you know, and starting to see that Shannon Sharp is just a LeBron James fan. So, and he's on his payroll.
Later.
That's why every single time LeBron, he's first in line to get everything LeBron that comes out. Hey, I just got this. If you go on Shannon Sharp Instagram, you just see him showing up a bunch of shit that LeBron James sent him. You never see Skip saying, "Damn, so LeBron James don't send me shit." Exactly, because he doesn't speak. He speak the truth about LeBron James. Those who speak bullshit about speak some nonsense about how LeBron James is a great basketball player get rewarded. You know?
Well, the criticism is much more scathing to me this time because Jenny read Richard Roper, who's one of the biggest, most respected critics in the nation.
Roper, yes.
Yeah, I got it.
Do you see that? One of the big and respected critics. And I told you this, guys. These are paid guys who are These are not real critics. The critics are the people who are actually watching these movies. These people they call critics are not critics. They're not real critics. Why would you sit there and have a small group of individual who doesn't represent the large population tell us if a movie is supposed to be good or not? You got eyes, you got ears, you can see and listen for yourself. You know?
I'm going to read it one more time. I have never seen anything like it. I also hope to never see anything like it again. And I wish I could unsee what I have seen. Well, that's... You can't dismiss something any more harshly than he did that way. And then here's one of my favorite websites, Entertainment Weekly. Here's the review, a line from the review. Here's the thing about basketball. It is extremely watchable. Here's the thing about Space Jam: A New Legacy. It's not.
LeBron James is just an insufferable character, you know? Like I said, the guy cannot act for shit. I don't understand why would it literally trend. Because the thing about it, too, is LeBron James is trying to break into the acting world after his NBA career. That's why he got all these stupid shows out that don't really make no sense. To me, I don't think LeBron James is quite a bright nor intelligent creature to properly speak well on certain topic, a certain subject. Yes, he's a good basketball player, but he's not an intelligent basketball player to me. You know? And I don't think he's that smart enough to speak thoroughly on certain topics. You know? You got a bunch of dudes who are like his visor who just look like idiots, in my opinion, you know? LeBron James is. This is why LeBron James rarely sit with anybody to give interviews. He's not articulate at all. You know, I think he understands that he's not really that bright nor smart, but you got all these media outlet boosting his ego, making him feel like he is, but deep down he doesn't really have that confidence to speak on certain topics and subjects. That's why he's always getting into nonsense that he shouldn't really be getting into, like, you know, like with politics. That's why people just say shut up and dribble, because you sound stupid when you get into a lane that isn't yours. And he's doing that based on his advisor. If you really search up his advisor, they look stupid. You know, he taking a bunch of nonsense from some skin-headed white dudes that look like Adam Silver. You know, this is why you guys will rarely see any interview of LeBron James if it's not one of his friends from ESPN like Richard Nichols. You know, and all his questions, he's already aware of it. LeBron James cannot think on the spot. He's not a quick thinker. You know, and I'm not speaking on basketball. I'm just speaking on generalization when it comes to articulating himself. He's not quick on his feet. You know, he's not really that intelligent at all. And I don't mean to insult him, but he's not really an intelligent person. You know, I know some of you guys might get mad, but LeBron James is arguably, by far none, a really dumb person. Dumb. Basketball wise, yeah, he's smart, but I don't think he's intelligent. He's an intelligent basketball player. His basketball IQ is quite low because he doesn't seem to know how to put together a solid team, where as a power forward you don't necessarily have to be the ball handler, nor the point guard, nor the shooting guard, nor the small forward, you know. So yeah,
Scathing.
Skip, anytime you're dealing with real actors and then you add CG, this is not Blue Chips, this is not Hoosiers, because now all of a sudden you got characters, Bugs, and all these guys in. So you got to ingratiate them. You got to blend those guys in. They said the same thing about the original Space Jam, that it wasn't good. And over time, somehow, the movie got better. I don't know how a movie...
It's the same thing with technology. Over time, it got better. And I will keep saying this again. Shannon Sharp, since you're not great... They pull a bunch of idiots on the news. A lot of your ESPN sportscaster, they're idiots, man. They're not. They're just reading a bunch of nonsense off a teleprompter. And I say this again and again. Shannon Sharp, back then, there was not a technology quite like we have to this day that can voice, people can properly voice their opinion. You had a group of small individuals sitting in a room, and then out of nowhere, who are paid to be there, by the way, come out, give a specific opinion about a movie before everybody else gets to see it. That's why when you look on these, when you see these trailer, #1 movie in America, like how the hell is it the #1 movie in America or in the world when nobody haven't even seen it? Just a small group of people telling us what we should think and what we should believe. So yes, Space Jam had a bad reputation back then because they had a small group of haters who were paid to make Jordan look bad because he was at the peak of his career. You know? Because to this day, a lot of people, to this day, why the movie actually got a better rating, because everybody get to voice their own opinion. You can just come on YouTube and everybody can share what they believe and what they think of the movie. Shannon Sharp. You know?
It gets better over time if the original wasn't good. So how was the original that got the ratings that it got in 96 all of a sudden get better ratings in 2016? Because that's what Jordan.
Obviously, LeBron thought he could be Jordan and beat Jordan.
No,
like
Skip,
I
they
said,
took it-
he thought he could outdo Michael Jordan at what Jordan did best, which is captivate on and off the basketball court.
But guess what? Jordan didn't captivate in 1996 in the original, because that's why it got crushed. And LeBron James took the original. He took the original movie. A lot of times, Skip, when you do a sequel, I don't know if this was a sequel, but he took it in a totally different direction. This is not The Godfather where you 1, 2, and they follow each other. This is not Fast and the Furious.
There was no different direction this movie went in. I told you this is just a rehash and redesign of the Steven Spielberg movie Ready Player One. Watch that movie and watch Space Jam. They're both the same. New Legacy. They're both the same. They're literally the same movie. They don't really know how to bring about LeBron James in this movie, but to literally camouflage him. They want people to focus way more on the surrounding and the coloring thing instead of focusing on what a horrible actor he is. That's why in this movie he's just a bunch of animated character. He turned to an animated character before he actually became a full flesh real character, a human. You know, they try to disguise how horrible he is with animation. Like I said, if they really wanted to make Space Jam 2, they should have used Michael Jordan and Michael B. Jordan. And Michael Jordan is a retired basketball, he's retired, and now his son and him, Michael B. Jordan is like, yo, dad, we need a coach. Or Michael B. Jordan got lost in something in a whole nother world. He's like, Michael Jordan's like, I got to go get my son. And then all of a sudden they team up, they need a coach and all that. You know what I'm saying? They could have did it like that. Because Michael B. Jordan is on a roll right now in the acting industry. Jordan don't really need to do that much acting. Just focus it around Michael B. Jordan, and Michael Jordan try to assist his son to becoming a great basketball player. That would have been perfect for me.
72, where they take it in basically the same direction as Card, and they jumping out of planes and doing all this stuff. He took Space Jam in a new direction.
Okay,
I'm not Skip.
I'll give you this. The original has become a cult classic.
Thank you.
But I got to tell you, I'm as you know, a huge movie fan. So are you. But
yes,
I love the original. I thought it was culty classic. It was so different. It was so weird. It was so zany that it got me, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I could watch it again tonight, and I might. But I'm also going to watch with an open mind. I'm going to watch New Legacy, excuse me, tonight because it's on HBO Max. So I will give you my open-minded review on Monday, and I would like to hear yours.
No, you won't. But here's the thing, though, Skip. You don't think some people are gonna like this new movie, the new Space Jam movie, A New Legacy? You don't think some people, just like some people, thought the original Space Jam?
This movie is far likely to be popular in China than it is in America, in my opinion. In Asia, it will be far more popular than here. Because if you think about it, Warcraft, the movie, which was far more popular in China than it was in America. Because America, it's brutal over here, So that's just how it is. In China, they're far more, they don't know what goes on over here. They want to come here. They want to be like Americans so bad that they don't really understand what goes on inside the world, So
Was good? You don't think so, even though the critics creamed it? Do you not think? We see that all the time, Skip. That's why I don't really listen to the critics. I want to go see the movie for myself.
There you go, Shannon Sharp. You don't listen to the critics. You go see it for yourself. So why in the world are you listening to the critics pertaining to the review that Jordan got when it first got released, instead of you giving your own honest opinion about the movie yourself, Shannon Sharp? Why are you dogging Jordan on his version of the movie by using critics. Why don't you tell us your own opinion about the movie? Because you seem to love LeBron. Every single thing you're giving talking about Space Jam 2 is all Shannon's, opinion of the movie. It's not critics' opinion of the movie. He's ignoring what critics are saying and he's giving his own opinion. But when it comes to Jordan, he's giving the critics' opinion. He's not going to validate his opinion. He's not going to say nothing about it. He's going to go straight off critics. But when it's LeBron, he ignored critics and goes straight off his opinion. You see what a hypocrite Shannon is? Because just right now, just ask. This is how you end this conversation. Shannon Sharp, which movie is better? This whole entire conversation could be shortened if Skip just asked, hey Shannon, what's your opinion about Space Jam 1 with Jordan in it? And then Space Jam, no critics, just your opinion. I bet you he would not be able to end. He would just smile like, Skip. It's not about that right now. He's like, it's not about that right now, Skip. We talking about the bigger issue. It's the fact you're trying to downplay LeBron James as if he didn't do a great job in this movie. He's just gonna downplay it. But he knows deep down it sucks. LeBron James' version of the movie sucks. And he doesn't want to admit that. He would never admit when LeBron James is at fault. He would never admit it.
Because what I think is entertaining and what I like, a lot of times the movie critics don't. Because the movie critics want everything to be Casablanca. They want everything to be the Maltese Falcon. They want everything to be Gone with the Wind. And that's not the case. Everybody doesn't make movies trying to win Academy Award. You're not trying to win the Oscar. You're not trying to win the...
You see how confident he is talking about Space Jam 2? Like he just got a lot to say. Like, who cares about what critics got to say about Space Jam 2? But yet, this is what critics got to say about Space Jam 1. Look at Skip Fizz, like, this guy, you kidding me? This kid be having the same face I be having sometimes. Like, are you kidding me? Come on now. You got all this nonsense to say to defend LeBron James, and you want to ignore critics. He wants to ignore critics now and give his opinion.
Academy Oscar for costume design or set design. And I think critics need to get that through their head. Every movie is not meant to win the Academy Award.
By the way, just off the record, and I mean just sort of off base here, but Ernestine and I started watching the Maltese Falcon the other night, and we couldn't even get through it. It's terrible. I'd never watched it before with Humphrey Bogart. But
yeah,
okay.
But they swear by it still.
Now Casablanca is all-time great. I could watch that tonight. But okay, I get what you're saying, and sometimes I read the reviews and I watch it and I say, what's so bad about this? It's entertaining, whatever. I got it. But in this case, the reviews are nuclear bad. They're saying don't even start to watch it. So I'm going to give it a fair shot. But I warned you that LeBron is at some legacy risk here because he's going to be compared to Jordan in the original.
And he should, because they're constantly comparing him to Jordan. So when it comes to this harsh criticizing, yes, these two movies should be compared, and people should give their honest opinion about it, because he's always trying to compare himself to Jordan, so.
No, and I told you, this feels to me like a rip-off of the original, and I don't know how different it's going to feel.
It's a rip-off of Ready Player One, directed by Steven Spielberg. It's a rip-off. It's far more of a rip-off of that movie than it is Space Jam 1.
Or if they're going to take it different, like you said with Fast and Furious, are you going to go a completely different direction? I have no idea. I watch the commercials, and all I see is LeBron saying, are you kidding me? And that's my bottom line to the whole production. Like, are you kidding me? You're going to try to top Jordan? And that Space Jam, because that's a bad idea.
No, it's not a bad idea because, like I said, at the original when they made in '96 when the original Space Jam came out, it got creamed. And 20 years later,
I'm not even gonna say it, but I'm gonna say it one more time because Shannon Sharp keep forgetting, and I'm gonna keep reminding me. It got creamed because there's fewer people who are sitting in a room who gets to dictate how we should feel about the movie, rather than us, the people, actually telling it how it is. There was not much of a technology back then for people to voice their opinion. Now there is. That's why the rating for Space Jam 1 during the era it came in was different during the era of the LeBron James. Because people have technology now to literally tell it how it is, give their opinion. You know?
so maybe LeBron get creamed, and then 20 years later, everybody's gonna say it's a cult classic. That seems to be the way we're headed with Jordan, because somehow for me, I don't understand how the Washington Wizards didn't stain Jordan's legacy. But people forget that. Somehow, all of a sudden, people got amnesia. All they remember Michael Jordan's career is 91 through 98. Nothing else happened. All the years before that, and the year that after he left and went
to this day, it always cracks me up because Shannon would never, ever let that go. That's the same thing I was saying. Like, everybody just forgot about Jordan's career prior to the 9 years prior before winning the championship. For straight 8 or 9 years, Jordan did not win nothing until 91 to 96, and now he's glory. I do have a problem with that too, you know, because it doesn't make sense. Like, how you guys going to just glorify Jordan when he lost straight for like 8, 9 years, and now all of a sudden he started winning the championship? We forgot that, like, you know, it took a while before he won a championship. Nowadays, this is a huge problem in the NBA. Everybody give Jordan time to develop before he won a championship after 8 or 9 years. Nowadays, when you come in as a young basketball player, they don't even give you time to develop. You know, they start bashing it straight out the gate, like I'm supposed to be great out of nowhere. Lonzo Ball, he hasn't even been in the league for like 5 years. All of a sudden, it started tearing this kid apart. Like, we're forgetting that Jordan wasn't in the league for straight 9 years before he started winning something. It takes time. Look at Devin Booker. This dude was in the league for a while, for a little bit, before he even got to a playoff. They don't bash Devin Booker like that. You know? They just bash these young basketball players as if they're supposed to come in the league perfect, which is absurd.
went to Washington, none of that mattered.
He took 3 years off and quit on principle because his coach got pushed out the back door in Chicago. So he gave up the final 3 years of his prime, and he came back at age 39 in Washington. He was just a ceremonial player.
Ali gave up 3 years of his prime and came back and got the title.
Yeah,
it was historically great.
But he wasn't 39 years old when he came back.
Well, that's his fault. He chose to do that.
Yeah, do you see how dismissive Shannon Sharp is one of the most dismissive analysts I've ever seen, especially when certain things doesn't fit his narrative or goes from what he's speaking of. Oh shit! He said that's his fault, boy. Yeah, these guys are clowns on Fox. Oh man, shit is a clown.
The great Michael Jordan, he thought he was invincible. In the year that after he left and went to Washington, none of that mattered.
He took 3 years off and quit on principle because his coach got pushed out the back door in Chicago. So he gave up the final 3 years of his prime, and he came back at age 39 in Washington. He was just a ceremonial player.
Ali gave up 3 years of his prime and came back and got the title.
Yeah,
it was historically great.
But he wasn't 39 years old when he came back.
Well, that's his fault. He chose to do that. Because why? He was the great Michael Jordan. He thought he was invincible. He really believed he could fly. He really believed he could withstand time.
Well, so does LeBron, and unfortunately for LeBron, he's 4 and 6 in the finals, as opposed to being.
LeBron here cannot withstand time. Talk about that, Shannon Sharp. That boy got all the money in the world, but cannot get some type of hair guru or some type of cream to kind of help his hair grow back. He and Tory Lanez got the same hairstyle going on right now. All that money, but you have no access to. You don't know how to. He'll still going bald. Yo, just man, LeBron James, quiet as kid, probably really want to shave his head, like Kobe and Jordan, but it's still obvious he's gonna get bashed because he's trying to mimic them. He already did a lot already, so.
In 6-0 with 6 MVPs.
And we got a big movie coming out, and you need to enjoy it. Watch it with an open mind, which I know you only got part of the mind open.
I am totally open-minded. I hope it's good. It's not going to be great, but I'm going to.
He said part of the mind open. He already aware Skip is gonna walk in there looking for something to find. You know? As soon as the movie starts, he already gonna be, oh my gosh, I knew it. Ernestine. Look at him. He's already pick and choosing.
Hope that it's at least
you see what
watchable.
You did? Jenny, did you hear what he just said?
Yes.
He just said it's not going to be great. He said he was going to. Y'all
That's what I said. Didn't I say? I said Skip is already going to go in. He's already going. As soon as the movie starts, he's just going to start critiquing it.
You just said you was going into it with an open mind. How can you go into it with an open mind and then in the same breath say it's not going to be great?
Because I already have some perspective. My expectations are lower. I'm trying to lower
What did I say?
Don't go in saying, okay, you better be Jordan here.
Oh,
shit. I could be decent, maybe. I hope.
I
Oh,
go
shit.
into a movie with no expectations. I'm going in to watch. I don't care what they say. It's not like they don't pay my money. They get to watch the movie for free. So, I'm going to watch the movie, and I honestly have an open mind. Now, if a movie isn't very good, I don't have a problem saying that. I spent my $30 to go see it. So, yeah, I'm going to say it's not very good. I'm going to go see this. I'm going to keep an open mind. And if it's good, it's good. And if it's not, it's not.
Yeah, you and the blind.
I told you guys, man. That's how Skip is going to go in watching that movie. He's already aware he's not going to go in it with an open mind, but critiquing it like a Fox Sport 1 analyst. He's going to critique that movie just like he's critiquing LeBron James on the show. Shannon is quite aware of that, too. But anyways, that's just a little touch on the movie. You know, I'll give you guys a review once I kind of, take a look at it. But like I said, don't forget this movie is literally a copy of Ready Player One, if you ever seen the movie. Yeah. Anyways, see you on the next video.